Hello, Capricorns, and welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who are returning, you'll notice I'm in the same place as I was last month, still coming to you from Medicine Hat. I'm recording this video here for you at the end of May with the intention of covering the time period between June 1st and June 15th. I feel like I'm even still wearing the same clothes that I was wearing in the last video that I recorded because the weather has just been so up and down. I mean, a couple days ago, I was wearing summer clothes. Now I'm back into my winter clothes. Our mornings are freezing. Our afternoons are boiling hot. And yeah, welcome to Alberta. It's been a long time since I've lived in Alberta. And this is definitely one of the things about Alberta. All right, we're just going to finish cleansing and clearing the cards here for you, Capricorn, and we're going to get started. This reading is intended for anybody born under the sign of Capricorn, as well as anybody who has a significant amount of Capricorn in their charts. For those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. I hope that this resonates with you. This will be a general reading. So for some of you, it's going to resonate right away. And for others, it may take a little bit more time to kind of gel, especially because when you come to a new tarot or card reader or psychic, it takes a little bit of time to kind of develop that rapport. So I hope that you'll stay on for the new viewers and really get a feel for how I work, and hopefully this will resonate for each and every one of you. Okay, Capricorns, the very first card that we're going to pull for you is going to be a card of where you're at now as I sit here and record this video for you here. The end of May, we do have a card that, I'm not sure it's going to fall out, but it's definitely calling out. Anything else for the Capricorns? Oh, we got a few more cards out. Okay, and that one definitely was calling. That was the first card out, and then that one, and then these two came out. Okay, Capricorn, the next card that we're going to pull for you is going to be a card of what you are focusing on. Definitely getting called over here. What are you focusing on? Oh, geez. It looks like I'm probably going to have to mix up these cards, maybe. Not sure yet. We've just got so many cards rolling out here for you, Capricorn. Yeah. And that one came out as well. Okay. So generally when this happens and we have so many cards come out, I tuck them back into a great big pile. And then I ask the universe to go based off of this pile and narrow things down for us. What are the Capricorns focusing on for mid-June, early June, June 1st through June 15th? Is there anything else? Let's go this way. Anything else? I'm sensing there's at least one more card considering how many cards came out. Yep, there we go. All right. Next card is going to be the card of difficult influences. Where are we going for difficult influences? This side up here. Okay. Is there anything else? That was quick. All right. The next card that we're going to pull out for you, Capricorn, is going to be the card that just makes sense. Now, for those of you who are new here and may not be familiar with the card that just makes sense, the card that just makes sense is a card that either begins to pull the rest of the reading all back together for us, especially if it seems a little bit disjointed and not quite gelling together, or the card that just makes sense is a card that has the identical meaning to another card somewhere else in your reading, thus giving you that double reinforcement that the energies intended, the message intended behind that card are really, really important at this time. Where are we going to go for the card that just makes sense? Yeah. For whatever reason, this particular deck, the messages from the Spirits of Nature by Stephen D. Farmer, This deck seems to want to speak to a lot of signs for the card that just makes sense. Like it's the one I get called to quite often. Okay, you're going to notice that there's a card here that's sticking up, so we're going to pull that one out as well. Okay. And the next card that we're going to pull for you, Capricorn, is going to be cards of unexpected influences, unexpected happenings, unexpected energies. Where are we going? Back over here to the traditional tarot. Unexpected for the Capricorns. Oh, gee, and it did it again. I mean, over half the deck is now out. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing that we did a moment ago. We are going to collect up all of the cards except for this one. This one jumped out all by itself. Is there anything else that is unexpected for Capricorn at this time, early to mid-June? Is there anything else that the Capricorns need to know about? Okay. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Anything else? We've got a couple more. They've flipped around. Yeah. All right. Okay. The final cards that we're going to pull for you, Capricorn, are going to be the cards that are your general overall outcome. Cards of general overall outcome are the cards that are predicting or projecting furthest into the future for right around the middle of June. General overall outcome for the Capricorns for mid-June. Anything else? We've got 3 cards out. Anything else? Okay. I think that card actually goes there. Okay. Capricorn, you have the moon. You have the Page of Pentacles in reversed. You have the 5 of Cups, and you have the 6 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So when the moon comes up in a psychic or tarot reading, the moon indicates that we need to be paying attention to the cycles that are happening in our life. The moon goes from full to new moon, and it changes this about once every 2 weeks, give or take a few days. And so the moon and her energy can sometimes appear elusive. So it can also indicate that there is someone in your midst who is not necessarily being as open and honest as they could or should be. So yeah, this is kind of a cautionary tale for you. I don't know if I can get that to focus because of the style of card, but so at this time, Capricorn, here, end of May, moving into beginning of June, pay attention to the cycles that are coming up in your life, but also pay attention and see if somebody's being a little elusive. Now, there's a difference between being a little elusive because it's getting close to your birthday and somebody's trying to plan a surprise party for you versus being a little bit elusive because they're sneaking off to do something they're not necessarily supposed to, whether that be, you know, sneaking cake in the middle of the night when they're supposed to be on a diet or they're diabetic, or whether that be something far more nefarious. Is, you know, for each individual person, it's up to you guys to decide what is going on. But this card is indicating that you need to be paying attention to that type of thing at this time. You have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Page of Pentacles is sometimes can indicate that you're feeling a little bit unmotivated at this time, especially when it comes to money. But given that the Page of Pentacles is surrounded by the moon, as well as by a 5 of Cups are always, or 5s are always crossroads, and you've got the 5 of Cups here. This is telling me that that right now, Capricorn, here at the end of May and moving into early June, you're feeling a little bit lackadaisical and uninterested in just about everything in your life. This is a card of feeling a little bit unmotivated, but there is good news here, so we'll move on. Before we get to the good news, the Five of Cups has come in for you at this time, the end of May, early June. Now, the Five of Cups, as I mentioned, the fives in the tarot are always about reaching that crossroads and trying to decide which way to go. And this particular five is no different. In this particular five, the Five of Cups, it's about concentrating or paying attention to sorry, there's a distraction over here, and I do not edit my videos, so this is going to turn out interesting. Okay. This Five of Cups is about paying attention to the negative instead of paying attention to the positive. Now, the moon can also indicate cycles, right? The dark moon versus the light moon, the new moon versus the full moon. So there is this indication here that there's a duality going on for you. You'll notice on this card, if you look closely at the picture on this card, the character on this card is noticing that there are 3 cups and they're spilled. And he seems to be really, really concentrating on these 3 cups, paying attention to them, and almost mourning the loss of these 3 cups, while not realizing that he still has 2 cups behind him that are full. Okay. So this card represents paying attention to the negative instead of paying attention to the positive, but it can also create this duality. And the other card that you have here is the Six of Cups coming in. And the Six of Cups is a card of leaving the past behind and being able to mend bridges. And it's a card of reconciliation. Okay. So just to review where you're at now, the moon signifies that there might be something a little nefarious going on with someone in your life. Pay attention to cycles and also pay attention to the light versus the dark. With regards to the Page of Pentacles, there's a time right now where you're feeling a little bit unmotivated. So take that as it will be. When we're feeling unmotivated, particularly when it comes to our career or money, the worst thing that we can do is pay attention to the spilled milk instead of realizing that the cup is half full, right? If you're paying attention to the cup is half empty, it's going to magnify that. And this is a card of nostalgia. It's about having memories about the past, which is good. But once we come to terms with the memories of the past, both good and bad, we need to leave the past where it belongs. And that's in the past. Interesting. You have another card here confirming leaving things in the past and exploring the past and a little bit of duality, reaching a crossroads. The card that you have here is this 5. Interesting. This is your second 5 in this reading. Okay. The Unity card. This card corresponds to the Hierophant in the traditional tarot. And what the Hierophant actually asks us to do, what the Unity card actually asks us to do, I'm tipping it down so that there's no reflection on it there. It asks us to look at traditions and what serves us and what no longer serves us. So Capricorn, at this time, going into early to mid-June, you're being asked to look at familial traditions, societal traditions, and determine what still makes sense in your life. Remember, you've got a card over here with where you're at now about letting go of the past. This card as well is about letting go of the past. It's about looking at the past and saying, hey, this still works in my life. Hey, this doesn't work in my life. The teachings of the church or the synagogue or the mosque, whatever religion you happen to partake in, may or may not continue to serve you as you go forward at this time, Capricorn. And this isn't a card about saying definitively, let go of societal norms. This isn't a card that definitively says, yeah, the religious norms, they're not going to work. That's not what this card is saying. This card is a card of exploration. Remember what I said about fives in the tarot. The fives are about reaching that crossroads and beginning to say, hey, am I on the right path? Or does something need to change? The other card that you have is the Princess of Spring. This card corresponds to the Page of Wands. And excuse the rooster crowing right outside my door. I don't know if my microphone's picking that up, but that's why I keep looking that way, because the rooster tried to come inside a minute ago. So this is a card of making your dreams come true and beginning to take the active steps towards making your dreams come true. How do we take active steps towards making our dreams come true? We let go of the past and we let go of that which no longer serves our highest good. What do you have in difficult influences? You have in difficult influences, you have the White Witch, be the light. Okay. So the White Witch in this particular card represents you stepping into the role of being a mentor for others. Given the fact that you have the Hierophant here, you've got the Six of Cups, you've got these cards indicating that you're exploring your own past and determining what's going to work for you going forward. It stands to reason that stepping into the role of mentor is in your difficult influences, because really this should be on the back burner for a temporary period of time until you, here comes a download of what I'm being told to say, until you get your own poop in order, exploring the Hierophant, looking at the past with nostalgia, but as well with some regrets. Right now is not a great time for you to step into the role of being a mentor. So that card makes sense. The other card that you have here is the card of the Arrow. This is a card about surrounding yourself with protective energy. This is coming in as your difficult influences. So Capricorn, what this is telling me is that as you're doing this work of searching deeply, stepping up into your dreams, going after your dreams, as you're doing this work, you are exposed. You are out there. And that's not necessarily the best place to be. At some point in time, we do need to have a little bit of protection in and around us. So surround yourself with protective energy. At this time, you may be struggling to actually do that. So this is just your reminder card that if you are going out into a crowded mall, crowded campground, you know, summer is right around the corner. If you're going to be doing anything where there's groups of people, concerts, you know, that's a big thing right at this time of the year. If you're doing any of that type of stuff right now, Capricorn, remember how to surround and protect yourself with energy, and be sure that you're doing that work before you go out into those places where your energy is going to be mingling with a whole bunch of people, and that may make you feel a little bit ungrounded. Let's look at the cards that just make sense. The cards that just make sense. You have Rain and Renewal. That makes sense, right? Because you've been told to let go of the past. You've been told that right now is the time for paying attention to that which no longer serves you and releasing it. The rain is also an indication that water can help us to release the past, the energies of the past that are no longer serving us. One of the very, very strong, very easy I guess you could call it a spell or a ritual that you can do in order to help release the past is standing in the shower. Rain. You can stand out in the rain if you want to, by all means, or you can stand in the shower and imagine what it is that you want to release, Capricorn. Breathe in deeply. Imagine that whatever it is that you want to release is forming a ball within your body. It's gathering up all the molecules that no longer serve your highest good. And when you're ready, exhale deeply and visualize all of that releasing from you and going down the drain. And the water just washes all of it away and helps to renew you. Now, for some of you, I'm just going to give this. This is one of the rituals that I do on a regular basis, especially when I need to release something from the past. I do this quite often in the shower. But for those of you who are new to doing something like this, or those of you who are very, very sensitive to visualizations and energies that then can be created into reality, be forewarned that if you release too much, the possibility exists you may throw yourself into what is known as a healing crisis, wherein you may get a few physical symptoms where you may feel unwell. Okay. So just be very cautious with that little ritual or ceremony that I just gave you based on who you are and how you know that your own body reacts to energy type work. You have the Cloud card coming in and this card makes sense. It's a time for you to move into imagination, because when you release the past, you are in that place of being able to create something new, something beautiful. And so you're going to want to use your imagination. And remember what I said about cards that just make sense? Cards that just make sense oftentimes give us a meaning that's identical to other cards within our reading. Well, in your case, Capricorn, it certainly did. You have the snake. And the snake is all about shedding the past, letting go. So Capricorn, what do you need to do? June 1st through June 30th or June 15th? Let go of the past. Explore and then let go. Explore, let go. Do not cry over spilled milk. And then shed that old skin. The snake is really powerful when it comes to it. It's such a powerful totem when it comes to giving us the message of shedding the past, because the reason that a snake sheds its skin is because it's growing. So Capricorn, this is an indication that you are growing right now. Spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, you're being able to see things from a bigger picture. All right, what do you have in your unexpected? You have the 9 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, and the Magician. I love it when the Magician comes in. Okay, so let's start with the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands, interestingly, is a card of, you may be in that place of feeling lazy. You may be in that place of feeling uninterested and unmotivated. Well, we already know that, right? Because we had this Page of Pentacles in reverse. This was the card for where you're at now, here at the end of May, early June. You're in that place of complacency. Your unexpected is the 7 of Wands, indicating that you are moving out of that finally, Capricorn, and you're going to move into that place of actually taking action, which was indicated by your focus card here of the Princess of Spring. You're in this place where you're going to be ready. Now, I'm sensing that these first few cards that I pulled, the Moon, the Page of Pentacles, the 5 and the 6 of Cups, were cards of where you're at now. This is cards of unexpected influences and what's coming in for you. So what's coming up for me intuitively are the numbers 6, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8. So I want to say between the 6th and the 8th, of June is when you're really going to start to feel the influence of this Seven of Wands, where you're going to feel more motivated to actually go out and do the work that needs to get done. And this Seven of Wands will be helping and influencing you. You have the Nine of Pentacles here. The Nine of Pentacles is about enjoying your life and enjoying the financial resources that you've managed to pull together. And also unexpected, you have the Magician. What is the Magician all about? The Magician is all about the realization that you have the power to control your own life. Your own life is in your hands, and you are truly magical. If you have not studied Law of Attraction, if you've not studied the work of Joe Dispenza, if you have not looked into hypnosis and hypnotherapy, all of these that I've mentioned are so super powerful in helping us to wake up to our own inner magician and the realization that we can control so much more than we were led to believe. So this is about exploring the institutions that we have in our life, religious, educational institutions. There's other institutions out there as well that have led us to believe that we are not magicians. We are. And this is your lesson. This is your lesson right now, Capricorn. Capricorn, really? You have yet another 5 in your reading. This is your general overall outcome. Your first 2 5s were about making that decision, about exploring the past, letting go of that which no longer serves you, so that you can begin to move forward. In your outcome, you have the 5 of totality, the 5 of Wands, the 5 of fire. What is this card telling you? Once you've made up your mind, Capricorn, it's time to get off the couch. Time to ditch the Netflix. Time to take action. What do you need to do when it's time to take action? So I'm just going to point out the characters on this card are trapeze artists. And the only way to be in a trapeze like this is to go all in, right? If you want to make it from one trapeze to the next, you got to go all in. Totality. Well, what do you need in order to be able to go all in? You have to trust. Capricorn. Trust in the Magician. Trust that letting go is the right thing to do. Trust in the renewal process. Where is that going to take you? That is going to take you on a new adventure. So by the middle of June, Capricorn, these cards are predicting you need to go all in and you need to trust. This is going to lead you on a new adventure with intensity, with such intensity. It's going to feel intense, Capricorn, because it's going to be something new, because you've shed the old. You're letting go of the past. You're letting go of that which no longer serves your highest good. And when you do that, you grow. So will it feel intense? Absolutely. Remember, the Magician is there with you. 7 of Wands is going to help you with that lack of motivation that you've been feeling. And really what I'm sensing is your ultimate goal is to step into this role of the White Witch or the mentor, depending on who you are and which role you want to step into. But what this card was telling you in your difficult influences was, it's just not your time yet. You've got some work to do, including 5 and 6 of Cups, 5 and 6 of Cups, the Unity card, and the Snake. That's a lot of releasing. All right, Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. I hope that this resonated with you. I would love to receive your comments. And if this did resonate with you and you're interested in a private reading, I do have all of the details down below. Take care, and we'll see you again in the middle of June.